Diversity Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello. Old stone against plate glass tonight in a fixture between a sizable northern university and a small Oxford college. There's a place in the second round for the winners and a place in the playoffs for the losers if and only if they're among the four highest scoring losing teams from these first round matches. Now, Magdalen College, Oxford, was founded in the mid-15th century by the Lord Chancellor William Waynflete, who suppressed a few monasteries in order to pay for it, a practice that may have influenced Cardinal Wolsey, who was a student there shortly after. Other alumni include Oscar Wilde, John Betjeman and, briefly, and out of his depth, Edward VIII. Perhaps tellingly, it's also where P.G. Wodehouse chose to send Bertie Wooster. Tonight's team tell us they spend a disproportionate amount of time punting, which will surely stand them in good stead when they rejoin the real world. So, hoping their intellects match their upper body strength, let's meet tonight's team, who have an average age of 22 and are playing on behalf of about 570 students and an institution that has won this contest 4 times in the past.
Hi, my name's Dominic, I'm from London and I'm reading history.
Hi, I'm Josie, I'm from London and I'm reading politics, philosophy and economics.
This is their captain.
Hi, I'm Alex, I'm from Wimbledon and I'm studying for a PhD in ancient Greek crowd psychology.
G'day guys, my name's Harry, I'm from Sydney and I'm doing law.
Subtlety is such a great characteristic of Australia. The idea for a university at York was first mooted in a petition to James I in 1617 and renewed in 1641. And such is the furious speed of Britain's bureaucracy that a mere 300 years later, the first students arrived in 1962. Alumni include the comedian Harry Enfield and the politician Harriet Harman, as well as the authors Helen Dunmore, Yung Chang, Anthony Horowitz and Graham Swift, with an average age of 26 and representing around 18,000 students. Let's meet the team from York.
Hi, I'm Mickey. I'm originally from Godalming in Surrey and I'm studying for a PhD in social policy.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm from Telford and I'm doing a Masters in Medieval Studies.
And this is their captain.
Hello, my name is Sam, I'm from Sevenoaks in Kent and I'm reading history and philosophy.
I'm David, I'm from Lancaster and I'm reading archaeology.
Well, the rules are unchanging in this. Starter questions have to be answered individually on the buzzer. They're worth 10 points. Bonuses, though, are collective efforts and they're worth 15 points. There's a 5-point penalty if you interrupt a starter question incorrectly. Fingers on the buzzers. Here's your first starter for 10. Meanings of what 5-letter word include in gardening the connection of the scion with the woodstock, in North America the profits of bribery, in medicine a piece of transplanted skin?
York Williams.
Graft.
Graft is correct, yes. Your bonuses are on books that had a profound effect on the creature in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Firstly, The Parallel Lives is a series of 50 biographies of prominent Greeks and Romans by which ancient author?
Plutarch.
Correct. Which semi-autobiographical novel of 1774 by Goethe concerns a sensitive and passionate young man who falls in love with his friend's fiancée?
That's The Sorrows of Young Werther.
Werther, yes. And finally, an epic poem in blank verse. According to Dr. Johnson, it is one of the books which the reader admires and lays down and forgets to take up again.
The Fairy Queen?
No, it's Paradise Lost, although it could have been the Fairy Queen, I agree. 10 points for this. The World Championship of what game was decided in November 2018 when, for the first time in its history, 12 consecutive classical matches all...
Magdalen Hardwick.
Chess.
Well done. Your first set of bonuses, Magdalen College, are on a scientist. Finding himself unable to leave a tip, who wrote in German on a piece of hotel stationery in 1922, "A calm and modest life brings more happiness than the pursuit of success. The document sold for $1.3 million in 2017.
It does feel Einstein. Do you reckon? A bit early. Do you have anything else? Einstein?
Correct.
Nice.
Named after an English botanist. What phenomenon is described in Einstein's doctoral dissertation concerning a statistical molecular theory of liquids?
Brownian motion? This does sound like it. Brownian motion?
Brownian motion is correct. During his Annus Mirabilis of 1905, in what institution of the Swiss federal government was Einstein working?
Cool. The patent office.
Correct. 10 points for this. What specific bone of the human skeleton is characterised by the strong odontoid process or peg? It is often known by a short name that also denotes a fixed...
Maudlin Hardwick.
The mandible.
No, you lose 5 points.
Sorry.
By a short name that also denotes a fixed reference line in Cartesian coordinates.
York Con.
Axis.
Axis is correct, yes. Right, these bonuses are on the year 1994 in video games. Which long-running franchise began in 1994 with a strategy game subtitled Orcs and Humans? Developed by Blizzard, its best-selling instalment is a massively multiplayer online game released 10 years later.
That's Warcraft.
It is, yes. 1994 also saw the release of the influential third game in which Nintendo franchise, a sci-fi adventure series with the protagonist Samus Aran. It is often named alongside the Castlevania series as defining a new genre of 2D game.
That's Metroid.
It is Metroid, yes. In the same year, the developers Rare released the first game to feature which Nintendo character as a playable protagonist? He'd previously appeared in arcade games as the enemy of Jumpman, or Mario, as he later became.
Yeah, that's Donkey Kong.
It is Donkey Kong, yes. 10 points for this. Answer promptly, naming any two of the 4 contiguous countries whose post-independence leaders have included Thomas Yeyi Boni, Yakubu Gowon, Paul Biya and Omar Bongo.
York Con.
Gabon and Cameroon.
Correct, yes. The other two are Benin and Nigeria. You get a set of bonuses this time, York, on piano makers. Opening in 1901, which concert hall in London's Marylebone was originally named the Bechstein Hall after the German piano makers who commissioned its construction?
Pass.
It's the Wigmore Hall. Secondly, noted for the development of the single-piece cast-iron frame, which Boston firm was the only US piano manufacturer to win a medal at the 1851 Great Exhibition?
Do we actually know any piano makers?
Steinway, I doubt it's them.
Yeah, we'll go Steinway.
No, it was Chickering. And finally, the Austrian piano maker Bösendorfer is famed for its imperial grand, boasting 97 keys. This number is how many more than are found on a standard piano?
Is it 88 on a standard piano?
Okay, so how many keys did he say? 97?
96.
96?
No, it was 97.
97,
97.
So 88, so that's 2, 9. Yeah. 9?
9 is correct, yes, you're right, it is 88 on the standard piano. Right, we're going to take a picture round now. For your picture starter, you're going to see an example of an erasure or blackout poem. That is a poem created by erasing parts of a pre-existing text. For 10 points, I want the title of the 19th century novel from which this poem was made.
York Williams.
Wuthering Heights.
Anyone like to buzz from Magdalen?
Maudlin Stratton.
Pride and Prejudice.
Let's see the whole thing, you're right. It's the famous opening paragraph. Right, your picture bonuses follow on with 3 more poems similarly derived from the opening paragraphs of well-known novels. Again, I want the title of the source novel. In each case, this time all are from the 20th century. Firstly, this.
Oh,
This is Catherine the Rye.
yes, it must be. Catcher in the Rye?
It is the Catcher in the Rye. We'll see the whole thing now. Secondly,
Creepy stuff. Which century are we in again?
Could it be Graham Greene? That's like...
It could. Oh no, hang on. From the stairhead. It's the Joyce thing. Ulysses.
Okay, okay.
It is Ulysses, right? Ulysses.
Ulysses is correct. Here's the whole thing. And finally,
20th century. At the start. I got nothing here, guys. As a young, it's something buildings Romani. What could it be? Myra Breckenridge.
no, it's not. Let's see the whole thing. It's The Great Gatsby, of course.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Right, we're going to take another starter question now. Answer promptly, naming any one person who was on the throne of England during the reign of Ottoman Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent.
Magdalen Brind.
Henry VI.
Nope, I'm afraid that was just an interruption, so you're going to have to lose 5 points. Anyone want to buzz from York?
York Khan.
Edward I.
No, that's wrong as well. It's Henry VIII, Edward VI, Lady Jane Grey, Mary I, and Elizabeth I. So we'll take another starter question. What name links the monster slain at Delphi by Apollo and a genus of large snakes?
Magdalen Hardwick.
Python.
Python is correct, yes. Right, your bonuses, Magdalen, are on pairs of words that differ only in the addition of the letter J at the beginning of one word. For example, ape and jape. In each case, give both words from the descriptions. Firstly, informal names, respectively, of muscles separated by the linea alba and injections by hypodermic syringe.
Ab and jab.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Ab and jab. Ab and jab.
Abs and jabs is correct, yes. Secondly, the third most abundant atmospheric gas and a specialised vocabulary of a particular subject or line of work.
Argon and jargon.
Correct. And finally, pertaining to the organ of sight and characterised by a humorous or playful manner.
Ocular and jocular.
Correct. 10 points for this. I need a two-word term here. Outlawed in England in peacetime by the Petition of Right in 1628, what measure is defined as the government of a country or district by military authority with ordinary civil law...
Magdalen Hardwick.
Martial law.
Correct. Your bonuses this time, Magdalen, are on prominent rulings of the US Supreme Court. In each case, I simply need a short surname. Firstly, in a decision often regarded as the worst in the history of the US Supreme Court, which slave attempted unsuccessfully in 1857 to sue his owner, John Sanford, and win freedom based on residence in non-slave states?
Can I nominate you? Yeah, sure. Nominate Stratton.
Dred Scott.
Dred Scott is correct. What surname appears first in a 1954 ruling that separate schools for black and white students are unconstitutional? The defendant was the Board of Education of Topeka.
Yeah. Brown.
Correct. In 1973, under what legal pseudonym did Norma McCorvey challenge the Dallas District Attorney, Henry Wade, in a case that became a landmark ruling on abortion?
Can I nominate you? Nominate Stratton.
Jane Roe.
Jane Roe is correct, yes. 10 points for this. Raphus cucullatus is better known by what short name? It was first cited by Portuguese sailors in the early 16th century. Since 1681, it has become one of the best-known examples.
York Easton.
Dodo?
Dodo is correct, yes. So you get a set of bonuses, this time on the story of Little Red Riding Hood. I took an axe to the wolf as he slept, one chop, scrotum to throat. These lines appear in Little Red Cap, a retelling of the story of Red Riding Hood by which poet?
Carol Ann Duffy.
Correct. Which musical by Stephen Sondheim features Red Riding Hood as a major character? The character's musical numbers include the solo I Know Things Now.
Into the Woods.
Into the Woods is correct. And finally, The Company of Wolves is one of 3 versions of the story of Red Riding Hood. In which short story collection by Angela Carter?
The Bloody Chamber.
Correct. We're going to take a music round now. For your music starter, you'll hear a piece of classical music composed for piano in the late 19th century, but played here on a synthesizer. For 10 points, name the work's original composer.
Magdalen Hardwick.
That's Debussy?
It is Debussy, yes. That was his first arabesque, as recorded by the electronic music pioneer Sao Tomita. And for your musical bonuses, you're going to hear 3 more of Tomita's arrangements of classical works. Name the original composer in each case, please. Firstly, the composer of this 19th century work.
It's Mussorgsky. It's fixed up exhibition. Mussorgsky.
It is Mussorgsky, yes. Secondly, the composer of this early 20th century work.
Oh, Shostakovich too, I think. So, Shostakovich.
No, that's Stravinsky.
Oh,
from The Firebird. And finally, the composer of this early 20th century work.
Yeah.
Holst. Yes. I will think about it this time, but it is Holst. Holst.
It is Holst. It's Mars from the planets, of course. OK, 10 points for this. According to Apple, after its first season in 2014, what was the fastest podcast in iTunes history to reach 5 million?
Dallas.
Serial.
The serial is correct, yes.
Nice one.
Right, you get a set of bonuses on dwarf planets. Firstly, in 2015, NASA's New Horizons mission discovered 4 previously unknown moons of Pluto. Name 2 of them.
I think they called one of them Erebus.
Erebus. Oh, that sounds good. And what else could it be? Oh, Styx.
Yeah, try
That's
that.
another place in the underworld. Erebus and Styx.
Erebus, did you say?
Yes.
No, that's wrong. It's Kerberos.
Oh.
Discovered shortly after Easter 2005 and nicknamed Easter Bunny, which dwarf planet's official name comes from that of a Rapa Nui fertility god?
Discovered in 2015, did they say? Not a big goddess.
No idea. Just pass.
Could it be Sedna?
No, it's Marke Marke. And finally, close in size to Pluto, which dwarf planet was named after the Greek goddess who started the Trojan War by causing conflict among other deities?
Eris.
Correct. Right, 10 points for this. When the architect Mies van der Rohe said that a good chair is almost more difficult to design than a skyscraper, he was explaining the enduring fame of which furniture designer born in Yorkshire in 1718?
Magdalen Brind.
Chippendale.
Chippendale is correct, yes. Your bonuses are on a Roman road. Traversing Britain from the southwest to the northeast, which Roman road ran from the mouth of the River Axe in Devon to Lincoln, where it joined Ermine Street?
Could be Watling Street. That goes in that rough direction. Watling Street?
No, it's Fosse Way.
Oh, that's...
Which
yeah.
Cotswolds town occupies the site of Corinium, the second largest town in Roman Britain? It stood at the junction of the Fosse Way and Akeman Street.
Cirencester?
Correct. On leaving Cirencester, the Fosse Way ran for a straight 60 miles to High Cross, where it intersected with which other road running from Dover to Wroxeter in Shropshire?
Could this be Watling Street? Do we have anything else at all?
No.
Let's try Watling Street.
You're right. Right, 10 points for this. With a single throw of 2 dice and excluding movements mandated by cards, in a standard UK game of Monopoly, if one starts at go, what is the probability of landing on a railway station?
York Eastern.
2 in 18. Oh, 1 in 9.
1 in 9 is correct, yes, that's absolutely right. Well done. You get a set of bonuses on universities often known by the abbreviation UC. In each case, identify the location of the university from the description. Firstly, a public university founded in 1819 and named after its location, a city of southwest Ohio, close to the border with Kentucky.
At University of Columbus.
University of Columbus.
No, it's the University of Cincinnati. Columbus is in the middle of Ohio. A university, secondly, founded in 1964 in a major city of the Philippines, the site of Magellan's first landing in 1521.
I'm not sure. Does anyone know any cities in the Philippines other than the capital?
Just pass it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
It's a pass.
It's the University of Cebu. And lastly, a university founded as a college of advanced education in 1967, a few kilometres from the Australian National University.
University of Canberra.
That is correct, yes. Right, time for another picture round. For your picture starter, you'll see a still from a television series that premiered in 1959. For 10 points, give me the title of the series.
York Williams.
The Twilight Zone.
That's right, yes. The Twilight Zone was an anthology series. That is, one which presented a new self-contained story and a set of characters in each episode or season. Your picture bonuses are 3 recent examples of this form. I want the title of the whole series in each case. First, this episodic series, which began in 2014.
Inside Number 9.
That's correct. Secondly, this programme, which began in 2016 and presents a different story each season. I want the 3-word overarching series title.
American Crime Story.
Correct. And finally, this episodic series, which began in 2011.
Black Mirror. Yeah. Black Mirror.
Black Mirror is right. 10 points for this. What Greek-derived term did Carl Jung use of the primordial images and ideas that form the contents of the collective unconscious? In more general speech, it denotes an original model or typical specimen.
York Williams.
Paradigm.
Anyone like to buzz from Magdalen? You may not confer. One of you can buzz.
Magdalen Hardwick.
Default.
No, it's an archetype. Right, 10 points for this starter question. The Wollaston Medal is an award in which branch of science? Recipients since 1831 include Roderick Murchison, Louis Agassiz, Thomas Henry Huxley and Charles Lyell.
York Eastham.
Geology.
Geology is correct, yes. These bonuses could give you the lead. They're on women born in 1819, the same year as Queen Victoria. In each case, name the person from the description. Firstly, a translator of Feuerbach's The Essence of Christianity and Spinoza's Ethics. In 1859, she published her first long novel, whose title character is a carpenter.
George Eliot. Gaskell.
Adam Bede, he might be a carpenter. Adam Bede is George Eliot.
George Eliot. OK. George Eliot.
George Eliot is correct. The co-editor of the abolitionist newspaper The Commonwealth, in 1862, the Atlantic Monthly published her Battle Hymn of the Republic.
That's, is that Francis Scott Key? Or was that maybe a bit too... Oh, I tried Francis Scott Key. Do you have any ideas?
No, nothing else.
Francis Scott Key.
No, it's Julia Ward Howe. And finally, the composer of the piano concerto in A minor and piano trio in G minor. She also edited the collected edition of her husband's compositions.
Not sure. No.
Come on.
Wife of a famous composer.
Sorry, pass.
It's Clara Schumann. There's about 3 minutes to go, and here's a starter question. Give the 4 letters that all end words meaning a Norwegian smoked sprat, a variety of German wine grape, a slender young tree.
Magdalen Hardwick.
L-I-N-G.
Correct. Your bonuses are on reptiles that are native to the UK. The common lizard has what alternative name indicating that it incubates its eggs inside its body and so gives birth to live young?
Do we have any clue here? What? Sorry? Oh, cow lizard?
No, it's a viviparous lizard.
Fair enough.
Coronella austriaca has what two-word common name? A rare constrictor, it is similar in appearance to the adder, although the pattern on its back is less well formed.
Grass snake. Or could it be a slow worm? Grass.
Remember, it's English.
They're both English.
I think
Which one?
snake.
Grass snake.
No, it's a smooth snake.
Okay.
And finally, Anguis fragilis has what two-word common name? A smooth, golden grey, legless lizard. It's often found in garden compost heaps.
That, I think, is a slow worm. They meant to be like slow worm.
That is a slow worm, yes. Right, 10 points for this. What is the pH of a solution formed by mixing 10 millilitres of 1 molar hydrochloric acid with 10 millilitres of 1 molar sodium hydroxide?
Magdalen stratum.
7.
7 is correct, yes. Your bonuses this time are on German literature. Firstly, inspiring an opera by Offenbach and including stories such as The Sandman and Ignaz Denner, Night Pieces is a collection by which author born in East Prussia in 1776?
Hoffman.
Hoffman is correct. Concerning a man who falls in love with a lifelike mechanical doll, which ballet by Delibes is based on Hoffman's The Sandman?
Do I have this? If not, I should pass. Pass, sorry.
It's Coppelia. Which German composer based his 1926 opera Cardiac on a Hoffman short story? The title figure is a goldsmith who murders his clients in order to retrieve his creations.
Is that going to be the person who's the threatening? Is that going to be the threatening opera person? I can't remember his name.
Brecht.
Yeah.
Brecht?
No, it's Hindemith. 10 points for this. Born in southern Italy in the early 5th century BCE, which philosopher demonstrated the difficulties of assuming that things can be infinitely subdivided in paradoxes such as the arrow and...
York Eastern.
Zeno?
Zeno of Elea is correct, yes. And at the gong, York University have 150, Magdalen College, Oxford have 170. Well, it was a very good game. Thank you very much. You're two splendid teams. 150 may well be enough for you to come back as one of the highest-scoring losers. York, we'll wait and see. Magdalen, congratulations to you. You did terrifically, I thought. Well done. I hope you can join us next time for another first-round match. But until then, it's goodbye from the University of York.
Goodbye.
Bye.
It's goodbye from Magdalen College, Oxford.
Bye.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.